Hey, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I'm Jabin Postal, and today at the grill, we're making an incredibly juicy and delicious spatchcock chicken using the Camp Chef pellet grill today. This recipe is simple to do, tastes amazing, and is gonna be a go-to recipe for your midday cooks for sure. Let's get into the cook. As I said, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I appreciate you being here. Today at the grill, we're gonna be cooking up some whole chickens using the pellet grill. And today we're using the spatchcock chicken method, which basically means we're gonna be removing the backbone, laying it flat so that we can get a nice even cook throughout this chicken, as well as even speed up that cook a little bit, giving you that great barbecue chicken flavor, but elevated to the next level because we are adding some smoky flavor to this. This chicken method can be done on really any grill. You can use a pellet grill like we're using today, or a kettle grill, or even a gas grill using the indirect method. And so there's not much to do to prepare this chicken, and that is why I love it, because it's fast, it's simple, and can be done any day of the week. And so to start with, we need to just go over our chicken, and we're gonna start by removing the backbone. You'll see that when we flip this over, our backbone runs along the backside. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some kitchen shears, and I'm gonna snip out that backbone. Starting at the back, just gonna go ahead and cut down that backbone. If you don't have some kitchen shears, you can use a serrated knife. That also works well, but I find that kitchen shears are the safest as well as the simplest method to removing this backbone. There we go, and just like that, we have our backbone removed. So I'm gonna place that off to the front. Do the same to this chicken as well. With the backbone removed from our chicken, it's now time to lay this chicken flat. And so I'm gonna flip this over, and then I'm gonna take the palm of my hand and I'm just gonna press down firmly on this, and you'll hear a nice crack of that backbone. There we go. I'll do the same to this one. Perfect. Next, I am just going to take my scissors again and just going to clean up any unwanted fat, as well as check for any bone fragments that may have splintered off during the process of removing that backbone. This one looks pretty good. So I'm gonna flip this chicken over, and before I hit it with my seasoning today, I wanna add a little bit of extra flavor into this core of our chicken breast. So there's really two ways to add some extra flavor to the chicken breast itself. The first way is by taking your hand or the underside of a spoon and getting underneath the skin of that breast, and then adding some seasoning to that. That is a great method to use, but one of the things that I find is that the skin, because it is detached from that chicken breast, when it comes time to slicing it, it often comes off that breast portion a little bit easy, and I like to eat the chicken breast with that skin still on it. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to grab some melted butter, and this is salted butter, and I'm going to inject that into this chicken breast, and this is going to add some of that extra flavor. There we go. Do the same to the other breast. Just gonna fill this up. There we go. And so the last thing that I'm gonna do before we add our seasoning is I'm gonna take our wingtips and I'm just gonna place that around the backside, just like that. And so with our chicken now spatchcocked, it's now time to apply our seasoning. And so today I'm gonna be using my Postal Barbecue chicken rub. This stuff goes really nice on chicken. If you don't have this, you can use your favorite chicken rub, or even salt and pepper and a little bit of garlic goes very nice on chicken like this. And so what I'm gonna do today is, like I said, I'm going to apply this chicken rub. In this one, there's a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of garlic and salt and pepper, and just a nice balanced flavor. So I'm gonna flip these both over, and we're gonna start by applying that seasoning to the underside. And you wanna make sure to apply a nice liberal coating to the outside of your chicken. And we'll flip this chicken over. And I'm gonna apply this rub again to the top side of this chicken. All right, that looks perfect. And so with our chicken spatchcocked and seasoned with our barbecue rub, it's now time to get our pellet grill set up for cooking around 325 degrees. So with our grill all set up for cooking at 325 degrees, let's go ahead and get this chicken onto the grill. Next, I am going to grab my thermometer that comes with this grill, and I'm going to place that into the breast portion just to monitor the internal temperature as this chicken is cooking. And so with our chicken on the grill, I'm going to close up our lid, and I'm going to begin cooking this, like I said, at 325 degrees, and we'll come back and check up on it in about an hour's time. So I've been cooking our spatchcock chicken in the pellet grill for an hour now, and our internal temperature according to our probe is at 159 degrees. What we want to do is bring this chicken up to 165 degrees internal temperature, knowing that there's about a 5-degree carryover. And so if we were to pull it off right now, it would carry over to that 165 degree in the breast. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the grill, and we're going to probe it with our digital thermometer just to confirm our temperatures as well as to see if it's fully done. Wow, guys, just look at that nice color that's on that chicken. You can see that that rub has set up quite nicely on that chicken, giving some really nice color. And it would be around that 155 to 160 degree mark that I would apply some barbecue sauce if you were going to apply that sauce. On these ones today, I don't want to apply that sauce. I just want that rub and that classic barbecue chicken flavor to really shine through. And so let's go ahead and probe it with our digital thermometer into the thickest part of the breast just to confirm our temperatures. All right, so according to our digital thermometer, the thickest part of the breast is still 155, and so I'm gonna close up this grill. I'm gonna let it cook for another probably about 5 to 10 minutes to allow that internal temperature to come up to that 160 degree mark in the thickest part of the breast so that it can carry over to 165 degrees. And so we'll come back when it's time. All right, so it's only been about 7 minutes since I last checked our internal temperature of this spatchcock chicken, and the internal temperature has climbed another 5 degrees according to our probe. And so I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna double check it again to make sure it's up to that 160 so that, again, we have that final resting temperature of 165. And so let's take a look. And just like that, we have 160 degrees in the breast. The thigh is about 185, which is absolutely perfect for me. Again, that resting temperature in the breast, 165, and 175 in the thigh portion. So with our chicken all done, I'm gonna remove it from the grill and we'll get ready for the taste test. So the total cooking time on this spatchcock chicken was about 1 hour and 15 minutes. And this is gonna vary a little bit depending on the size of your chicken, but sort of the average size chicken that you find in the grocery store, it's gonna be anywhere between 1 hour and 15 to 1 hour and 30 minutes for this cook. The look of this chicken turned out absolutely wonderful. It's exactly what I was expecting. And the skin has a nice crisp to it. You know, this recipe is so simple and there's not much that can go wrong with it. So let's go in for the taste test and see how we did. I'm gonna first of all cut some of this breast off. Oh my goodness, just look at this. It is absolutely juicy. Look at that. There's juices coming all over that board. And this is that butter that we injected into that breast to keep it hydrated, to add a ton of flavor. This is unreal. Gonna dip it in that butter sauce. Let's go for the taste test and see how it is. You know, right off the bat, the flavor of that chicken breast is absolutely incredible. You get that flavor of that barbecue rub with the sweetness and that garlic and peppers coming in there very nicely. And then you get that richness of that butter that we injected in. It is absolutely incredible. It's tender, it's juicy, it's perfectly cooked. This is a top-notch chicken for sure. You get that smokiness that comes from that pellet grill, really just rounding out that flavor of this chicken. This is a phenomenal way to cook chicken. If you've never done it before, make sure to give it a try because you won't be disappointed. It's easy, it's simple, it's delicious, and you're gonna love it for sure. So that's how you make that incredibly juicy, tender and delicious spatchcock chicken using the pellet grill. I know you're gonna love it for sure. And so until next time, keep that fire lit and get cooking. Hey, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I'm Jabin Postal, and today at the grill, we're making some delicious cedar plank chicken quarters with a homemade spicy mango barbecue sauce that you're gonna love. And so just like always, I'm gonna put all the show notes as well as the full recipe in the description box below, so make sure to click down there to see everything that you need for this cook. Also, if you like what we're doing on this channel, consider subscribing for more great barbecue recipes, tutorials, and reviews. And other than that, let's get into the cook. As I said, welcome back to Postal Barbecue. I appreciate you being here. Today at the grill, like I said, we're making some delicious cedar plank chicken quarters with a homemade spicy mango barbecue sauce that's gonna be absolutely wonderful with this chicken today. And so when it comes to cooking with wood planks, cooking with cedar specifically is one of the most common ways that you see this, but it can be done using maple, alder, a number of different great woods to complement whatever protein meat that you're cooking. And so today I'm using cedar because this is more of a traditional way, especially over here on the Pacific Northwest, where cedar is abundant and really just goes back to a really traditional way of cooking over live fire. And so what I have here today is some chicken leg quarters. We have the thigh as well as the leg portion, and this is a dark meat, which means that it's a little more fatty, a little more rich in flavor, which also means you can cook this to a little bit higher temperature if you like, and provides a little bit more of a buffer when you're cooking. And so what we're going to do today to get started is I'm just going to trim up some of the fat that's on this. And so you can see down on the bottom when I flip it over, there's a large fat deposit. And so I'm just going to clean that up. There's also a little bit of the rib cage still attached. I'm going to just trim that off. All right, that's exactly what we're looking for. That's cleaned up nicely. And so I'm going to flip this one over again. We're going to do the same to this one. Remove that big fat decal. And then again, I'm going to trim off this bit of that rib cage that's still remaining. So in just a few minutes, I have these chicken leg quarters trimmed up the way that I like them. You will notice that I did take the time to remove that little bit of the rib cage that was still remaining on there, just so that when it comes time to eating, you don't have to fight with that rib cage that's on there. It just can have a nice clean bite. With our leg quarters all trimmed up, it's now time to season our chicken. And so today I'm gonna be using my chicken rub. This stuff goes really nice on chicken, obviously. It's got a nice blend of salts and peppers, a bit of spices, and some savory notes in it. And so just go ahead and use your favorite chicken rub that you prefer. And so I'm going to start by flipping this chicken upside down because I want to season the top portion last. And so just place a generous coating onto the outside of this chicken. Flip that over. And again, I'm placing a liberal coating onto the outside of our chicken just to add that little bit of extra flavor that I love when it comes to chicken quarters. There we go. That looks really nice. And so with our chicken all seasoned up, I'm going to let it sit on the cutting board for about 20 to 30 minutes while I get my kettle set up for cooking around 350 degrees. So to set up our grill today for cooking with this cedar plank, I'm first of all going to fill up a chimney basket full of unlit briquettes, and I'm going to get those coals mostly lit. Once our coals are mostly lit, I'm then going to dump them into the bottom of our grill and spread them out over about 2/3 of the bottom of our grill. Next, I'm going to place my grill grate back in and then close the lid and let our grill come up to around 350 degrees. So with our grill all set up for cooking around 350 degrees, it's now time to get our chicken onto our cedar plank. And I did go ahead already and soak our plank for about 2 hours in advance. And this is going to allow that moisture to be absorbed into that plank so it doesn't just burn away. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these onto this plank. Just like this. This last one on there. And then with everything ready for cooking, I'm going to place this onto the grill directly over our hot zone. All right, so you'll notice that that plank is starting to smolder just a little bit, and so I'm going to close up this lid, and I'm going to begin cooking this for about 45 minutes before we come back and check up on our internal temperature. So while our chicken is cooking away on that cedar plank, let's go ahead and make this spicy mango barbecue sauce that we're going to glaze over top of this chicken. And so there's not much to do to prepare this barbecue sauce. We have some ketchup, some mango juice, and then a few other things that just help bring this sauce to life. And so I'm going to start by placing in about 1 cup of ketchup into a saucepan. There we go. Next, I'm going to add in another cup of mango juice. And then to that, I have 2 tablespoons of molasses. There we go. Next, I have a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Place that in. I have a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And then lastly, I have my spices. I'm going to be using 1 teaspoon each of black pepper, garlic, onion, paprika, and also a 1/2 tablespoon of cayenne pepper to add a little bit of that spice that we're looking for with this sauce. And so go ahead and place all of that into this sauce. And then I'm going to turn on my burner. And I'm going to put that on to about a medium low, and I'm going to bring this up to a simmer and let it simmer for about 5 minutes time. Let's go ahead and give this a quick taste just to see how it is and if there's anything else that we need to add to it. That is good. Whew, you can taste that bit of spice as well as that sweetness from the mango and that brown sugar just complementing again, that mango. So with our barbecue sauce all done, I'm going to let it cool down to about a room temperature. And during this process, it's going to thicken up a little bit and it's going to be the perfect consistency for our cook. So I've been cooking these chicken leg quarters for just over 40 minutes now, and the aroma back here is absolutely wonderful. You can really smell that cedar plank doing its job in the grill. And so let's open up the grill and take a look as well as probe for our internal temperature. Oh wow, look at that nice color on the outside of this chicken. You can see that that rub we use has set up quite nicely. And so let's go ahead and use our digital thermometer and just probe for our internal temperature. We have 178. And so this is reading around 178, and which is the perfect temperature for me. And so I'm going to apply our barbecue sauce to the outside of this chicken now. There we go. And you'll want to do this quite quickly because you'll see that there is some fire on the bottom of our plank. And so I'm going to close up this lid, which is going to suffocate that fire. And then I'm going to let that sauce set up for about 7 minutes before I remove it from the grill and get ready for the taste test. So our total cooking time for our chicken quarters cooked on that cedar plank was about 50 minutes, and the color and the aroma is absolutely wonderful. These temped out around 180 degrees internal temperature, which is my preferred range, anywhere between 175 and 185 for the dark meat in these chicken quarters. So with everything all done, let's go ahead and grab this guy right here and we'll go for the taste test. Here we go. Oh my goodness. This is unreal. So as expected, the flavor of these cedar plank chicken quarters is absolutely phenomenal. You can really taste that cedar flavor from that wood plank, and it's a little bit different of a flavor than if you were to smoke these chicken quarters. It's a little bit more of an aromatic flavor that you get from that wood plank. You pair that with this delicious spicy mango barbecue sauce, and this is a winning combination. And so if you've never tried cooking using cedar planks like this before, make sure to give it a try, because it is such a fun way to cook and you won't be disappointed. So make sure to give it a try. So that's how you make that amazing homemade spicy mango barbecue sauce for your next grill night. You're gonna love it for sure. Until next time, keep that fire lit and get cooking.